right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the product training day. We will be running these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Right here, I'll just have this one recorded for future reference, right? So we're going to be going over how to use the Harmonic scanner, how to turn it into an 80% accurate machine, And we're going to run really quickly through Gold Cup. We're going to run through Gold Cup really quickly. So now, before we get started, I want to get you guys to understand pretty much what's it gonna take for you to become successful trading, right? First things first, you have to have the right mindset and approach when you're looking at the charts, when you're looking at anything when it comes to finances, right? So number one, be patient, right? Do not rush any trades. Do not force any trades. Do not force any setups. There's plenty of trades and setups every single day, right? There's plenty of trades, right? There's plenty of trades out there. Don't force something. Don't pretend to see something that's not there, right? Don't try to see something that is absolutely not there. So play the strategy, trade the strategy. So I'm going to go over the strategy in a little bit. Number one, mindset, don't rush anything. Patience. Patience is what separates successful traders from unsuccessful traders, right? Just be patient. Your trade will come to you. Trade the setup. Number two, risk management, right? You don't want to risk your entire account on one trade, right? Risk management. You want to risk really no more than 3% of your trade, of your account, right? You don't want to risk 50% of your account, 100% of your account on one trade, right? Risk management is key, right? Be very, very careful with your risk management. So we actually have a compound plan in the Discord for every single person to take advantage of. There's already a compound plan. You can adjust it to exactly how much money you have in your trading account, and it'll tell you exactly what lot size to use for X amount of pips in your stop loss, right? Things like that. So it literally tells you everything you need to take it step by step to making this your first 6 figures or 7 figures trading. So let's get right into the scanner, right? We went over mindset, risk management. We understand that. Now let's get right into the scanner. So there's 2 ways pretty much you can trade the scanner. There's a few ways, but I'm going to touch on 2 really quickly. Number one is my favorite. This is pretty much what helped me retire when I was 21. I use this method right here. I use pretty much 2 things that you want to look for the scanner. Number one, entry, right? Very, very simple, right? To get to your scanner, of course, you go to IM Sensor. You go to strategies. That'll be in the left-hand corner, right? IM Sensor, log in to IM Sensor, go to strategies. Then your Harmonic scanner is right there. All the products are right there. So you're going to want to select your broker. It doesn't matter at all which one you choose. The setups are all the same. Now, the difference in the brokers is that they will deliver price just a little bit differently. So for Hugo's Way, the entry might be 0.8741. But for, let's say, Trader's Way or XM.com, it might be 0.8742 or 0.8740, right? They're just off by 1 or 2 points. But those 1 or 2 points actually matter when it comes to this algorithm right here. That's why we offer all the different brokers. So you can see something on the Hugo's Way selection, right? You can see something on the Hugo's Way broker, and it doesn't matter if you have the Hugo's Way broker or not. The setup is exactly the same. Like I said, because the number is off by 1 or 2, we had to include every single broker because it affects the algorithm that scans for the market, that scans for the pattern. So use any broker you like here, any broker you like. Most notably, of course, the one you follow, the one you have, because it's going to represent true price for you. So now, number one, you need entry. It's only 2 steps to it. Number one, get your entry, right? Make sure price is by the entry. There are certain pairs that have more than 1 entry. You'll see 2 entries. Either one is fine, right? Number one, entry. Number 2, requirement number 2, you need something called divergence, right? You're going to look for this cool thing called divergence. Now, what the heck is divergence, right? What is this divergence thing this guy is talking about? So divergence is pretty much when the RSI, your oscillator down here, does something different than the chart itself. So now let me go into depth about what that looks like, right? So let's go back here. Notice how we're actually making higher highs over here. You see how here in the chart it's actually going higher. If we actually switch it over to the line chart, you'll see it a little bit prettier. Make the line chart a little thicker for us. See how this actually looks like it's going higher. The chart is actually going higher, but its counterpart, the oscillator, is actually going lower. Did everybody see that? Right? Here we're going higher. Down here, though, we're going lower. The RSI is pretty much an average of the candles closes, right? Of what the candles are closing at, average of what the candles are closing at. You don't really need to know that right now. You just have to know divergence, right? Divergence is very, very simple. It's when the chart is doing one thing, the RSI is doing the opposite, right? The chart is making higher highs, the RSI is doing lower highs, right? So in a sell position, because you know this is a sell position because the entry is up and the targets are down. In a sell position, you connect the tops. Connect the tops in a sell position. If the opposite, if this were a buy position, we'd be connecting the lows, right? So this is a sell position. So we connected the tops right here and then the tops right here. This is making higher highs. This is making lower highs, right? Let me see if I can actually point that out for you guys. There we go. We have that. Let's actually clone it. Clone it. So we have this. Let me put it back. Maybe I shouldn't have done it on top, right? So here we have that, right? So we have these highs going higher, and then we have these highs. Let me zoom in just a little bit, going lower. That's what we're paying attention to, right? These highs are going higher. These highs are going lower. That's called divergence. So when you see that, right, divergence pretty much is going to let you know what the chart is getting ready to start doing. It lets you know when price is actually losing momentum and getting ready to reverse. So if this was on an uptrend the entire time, the reversal would be the downtrend, would be the sell position. So then you get into this trade, you have your TP1, right? You always go for take profit number one. Always go for take profit number one right there. So you have your stop loss, you copy and paste that right into your MetaTrader 4, right into your trading app, right? You're going to make money first, and then you're going to figure it out why later, right? Through our academy and the Go Live sessions, right? So that right there is that. That's your stop loss. You type that in. This is your target. You would have typed that in. Now, this trade already happened, so we're not going to be getting into it, right? This trade already happened, right? Already happened. So that's the sell divergence, right? That's what it looks like. Here, chart's going higher here, chart's going lower here. This hit your entry, and then when hit straight into take profit number one. From your entry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, hour and a half, you were in and out of that trade. And you only risked, what is that, 8.7 points, 0.8748. We'll round it up to 0.8749, right? That's about 8 points. Your 8-point stop loss, right? And you actually went for about 20 points for your target number one. So you risked 8 points to potentially get 20 points, right? And you won. That's more than a 2-to-1 ratio. That's almost a 3-to-1 ratio, right? It's almost a 3-to-1 ratio, right? So that means you can lose 3 of these and win 1 and make everything back. Now, that's not going to happen. You're going to be way, way more accurate than that, especially with the system right here. But always have a good risk to reward. Always have a good risk to reward. You don't want to risk 100 pips, 100 points to potentially get 5 points, right? That's not optimal, right? It's not exactly what you want. So that's the sell side divergence. Now, let's see if we can find a buy side divergence. Let's see what we got here. All right, let me see. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. So the same thing. You see how we look, remember 1 and 2. Number 1, this has 2 entries. Number 1, you need price at the entry, right? You need price at the entry. That's number 1. So what's happening here? Price is going lower. But if we were to look directly here, you see price is actually making higher lows. Price is actually making higher lows down here. Right, remember, for the buy side divergence, remember this is a buy because the entry is down here and the targets are up here. So the targets are up, you're buying the market. So now you're connecting the lows this time because you're in a buy position. You want to get in a buy position, you're connecting the lows. Remember, this is a reversal that's going to happen. Reversal. So now let me switch this over to your line chart. Right, so it looks a little bit prettier for us. Let me just extend this out. I'm just going to exaggerate it just a little bit. Just extending it out. And I'm actually going to have, let me see if I can find the arrow for us. I think it should be here, yep. We have this arrow here. Let's clone it. And we'll get a second arrow there. See how we're making lower lows? But if we were to go here, we're actually making higher lows. Right? And you can, yeah, that's where we're going. See how this is making lower lows? This is starting to make higher lows. Right? We're just lining them up. Right? We're just lining that up. Let me actually move this up a little bit. And I'm going to move this up a little bit so it fits the screen. That's really all you're looking for, right? So this is going lower, the chart is going lower, the RSI is going higher. So the RSI is going to tell you what price is getting ready to start doing. So the RSI will show it first and then price will follow. So if you know exactly where price is going, right, which is to the upside, you already have your bias. You already know where it's going, right? You already know where it's going and gives you insight on as to what's going to happen next, what's going to happen in the very, very near future. So you would have caught this trade, you would have got in, right? And your take profit 1 would have gotten smashed. Take profit 1 would have gotten smashed. Let me switch this back over to candles. Remember, you're always going for take profit 1. Take profit 1 will be 80% accurate. Take profit number 1. You can literally sit at home and trade all day on the scanner, right? You can do that all day. This is one way to trade the scanner. Another way to trade the scanner would be to include institutional concepts, but that's a whole nother lesson for a whole nother day, right? So that's it right there. This is the buy side version of Divergence, the buy side version, right? RSI making higher lows, chart making lower lows.